Okay, I couldn't edit this the way I wanted, where my workout was on the screen and then I could add in a video explaining everything later. So I'm going to put the workout like here or somewhere, probably over here, and cover up my steering wheel. But my workout for today, as I'll be here, I promised a video on this channel, on these accounts, explaining why I programmed it the way I did. So we're starting off with Russian kettlebell swings. Russian kettlebell swings are the ones that come up flat. Americans go above your head. We have 5 sets of 3 to 5. So that's my big power movement for the day. I was thinking of doing cleans, but I'm also planning on going to the gym to do upper body tomorrow, and cleans kind of tire out my shoulders and my upper back. So that's why we're doing the kettlebell swings today instead of the cleans. I also have barbell deadlifts for 5 sets of 8 to 12. The app I use does not let me put in the rep range. It lets me put in the weight and then the reps. I don't know what that weight is going to be yet. I also don't know if I'll be able to get 12 or if I'll be able to get 8. Who knows? So that's why when I post my workouts, that's why you never see the set, the rep range and all that. You usually just see the sets. So that's my big strength movement for the day. And then I have prone leg curl. So the one where you're laying down on your stomach. The reason I chose this one is because when I did the seated one the other day, the front of my knee hurt. I have been having issues with my meniscus, basically since it was repaired in 2019. So it's been almost 7 years at this point, and I still have issues with it. I'm getting injections in it actually in a couple weeks now. The gel injections, to see if that does anything. I thought that would be a better option before just jumping into surgery and not being able to move for 8 weeks. At least that's what it was when I tore my ACL, because of the meniscus. So I couldn't put any weight on it for 8 weeks. So we're gonna try the prone hamstring curl today. See if that helps with the pain in the front of my knee. Then we have, I have 5 sets of that as well, because I've noticed on my right leg, I can see more of the quads, like my quad sweep. On my left leg, which is my bad leg, I cannot. And it's not because of the size of the quad. When I went through and I did a little finger measurement, from the edge of the quad to the back of my leg, that distance was shorter on the left-hand side. So I really need to focus on growing that left hamstring. Then we have leg extension, 3 sets of 8 to 12. Again, quads are doing pretty good. So trying to really do more hamstrings instead. Then we have hip thrust. Do this with a machine. Hopefully the gym's not too crowded. I know that they're beneficial. I really do. I also know that they're not the only way to train your glutes. But with the deadlifts, I didn't want to do RDLs as well. So 3 sets of 8 to 12. And then I have hip abduction, so bringing your legs apart, and hip adduction, bringing your legs together. Both of those are also 3 sets of 8 to 12. Power movement for the day is kettlebell swings. We want to make sure we're exploding up decently heavy weight. And then we're going 5 sets of 8 for deadlifts. When you do deadlifts, you want to make sure your weight is going through your whole foot, or else you're going to step back like I did there. Quite frankly, these were really sloppy deadlifts. But deadlifts are really good for your posterior chain, so your hammies, your glutes, your quads are even really involved because you have that leg extension, and also your back. You want to make sure you keep your shoulder blades pulled back and down, drag the bar against your legs. And then we have leg curls. Gotta be honest, I don't know how many I'm doing on this set because I was counting the eccentric. So the eccentric is the lengthening part of the muscle. So in leg curls, it's the butt to full extension of your leg. You're going to get really strong during that eccentric portion. So if you're doing squats, lunges, it's going to be the lowering portion of that movement when you're really stretching your quad. For these, you want that hamstring stretch to be the part where it's nice and controlled. You don't have to take 5 seconds. You just really don't want to kind of just let the weight fall. So try to control it like 2 seconds at least. Still doing the leg curls. Again, I forget how many I did because I was counting the eccentric. It was somewhere between 10 and 15, I think. And then our next exercise is leg extension. So same thing here. We want to come up and then control the way down when our quads are extending. When we do leg extension, we want to keep our toes pulled up, extend our legs all the way, and then nice and controlled on the way down. In sports, you typically have triple extension. Triple extension is at the ankles, the knees, and the hips. So we use this when we jump, when we sprint. And you'll notice the only thing missing from my workout today is calf raises, and that's because I have ballet tomorrow. And I've also been doing a lot of calf raises at work because we started a new exercise group. So that is why they are admitted. But this works the knee portion of that triple extension. And then we have hip thrust. Typically, I would choose RDLs over hip thrust. When we do hip thrust, we want to kind of push through our heels, come up to the top and squeeze. But as we come up to the squeeze, I'll have to show you guys a video on how to do this, but you want to tuck your pelvis under, not just come up and squeeze your butt. You almost want to rotate to where your glutes are coming under you. And then we have hip abduction. So anything with abduction, you're bringing everything apart. This is good for your glute medius. Again, nice and fast out. Control it coming back in because your hips are going to want to just kind of come back together, and we don't want that to happen. So control as your legs are coming back in. 3 sets of 15 or 3 sets of 12 for everything from leg extensions on. And then we have hip adduction with 2 Ds. This is when you bring body parts towards the center line of your body. So we're coming in fast and then controlling the way out. Again, it doesn't have to take 5 seconds. You just want to make sure you're not letting the weight throw your body around. 3 sets of 12 for everything except kettlebell swings, deadlifts, and leg curls. Those were all 5 sets.